sitting in living room waiting for her husband, who is at work, and thinking why she is scared of her husband. He always treat her good, never shout at her. Then why? Wyan and Jungkook are married since 4 months, and it was an arranged marriage. Wyan's parents died when she was little, and her aunt and uncle raised her like their own daughter. They really loved her like their own daughter. This marriage was arranged by her aunt and uncle, and she knew that they will always do or think for her good, so she agreed. But she didn't knew that he is a mafia. She get to know on the day of marriage that he is a mafia. When she get to know of him being a mafia, she gets scared, and she is still scared. But he never treat her badly. That make her think why she is scared of him. From now on, I won't be scared of him. He is not a bad person, right? She was in her thoughts, and her thoughts interrupted when the sound of front door opened and closed, indicating that he came back. She took a deep breath and stand up from couch and smiled, looking at him coming towards her. "How was your day?" she asked, smiling, to which he frowned a little but smiled and said, "It was good," he said, and was about to continue the sentence when his phone started ringing, and Wyan said, "I'll go get water for you to drink," she said, and he nodded, and she went to kitchen, and then he picked the call while putting the cold look on his face. On the other hand, Wyan flinched when he shouted. She was coming back with water, but she stopped when he started shouting. There was pure fear in her eyes for him. When he cut the call, she went near him with water and said, she said, gaining his attention, who was massaging his temples. His eyes softened seeing her. He'd take the glass of water from her hands and drink it. Next morning, Jungkook woke up and saw she was not there again. He sighed and got up and did his morning routine and went downstairs. Wyan is making breakfast. She always wakes up before Jungkook. He don't want him to be late from work and then mad at her. That's why she always wakes up early, not knowing that he can't be angry on her. "Good morning," he said as soon as he entered in kitchen with sweet smile on his face. She said and served the breakfast. Both were doing breakfast in silence until Jungkook decided to break it and said, Are not you bored at home all day? I mean, let's do today's dinner out," he asked, but she thought that if she will not accept it, maybe he will get angry, and with this thought she accepted and said okay. Jungkook thought that most of the time she is at home, that's why she is like this. But when they went to eat at restaurant, she was still quiet. She just answered what Jungkook asked. Now he thinks that she is still uncomfortable with him. Sometimes he thinks that she might be scared of him, but shrugged off because he never do anything which can affect her and she will be afraid of him. Now Jungkook is in room finding some files. He is in hurry. When he found it, he opened the door and stepped out, but bumped on Wyan, who was also coming in room, and all files from Jungkook's hand dropped. Wyan's face went pale. She got scared, and her eyes filled with tears. Jungkook looked at her with concern when he saw how her face went pale. She started to cry badly, but Jungkook just looked at her blankly and then sighed and looked at her with concern and said, He called her softly. She was crying continuously and saying sorry. Jungkook hugged her and said, Ryan, calm down. I'm not going to shout at you. Don't be scared. I'm your husband. I won't hurt you. He said, trying to calm her down. After a while, when she calmed down, he looked at her and asked, Why you are afraid of me? I just... You are a mafia and every mafia kill them who make mistake. Or who told you all this? I saw it in movies. But I'm not a bad person. It's just my father was a mafia and I was his next heir. That's why today I'm a mafia. But I also do business. I'm also CEO of Jen Company, and you know that. I never hurted any innocent person in my life and will never be. And you are my wife. How can you think I will hurt you? Remember it, I will never hurt you, okay? And won't let anyone hurt you. Just don't be afraid of me. You are safe with me. He said, and she nodded lightly. And he smiled and cupped her cheeks and leaned towards her face and pecked her forehead. He said, but she didn't reply. And after that, they started to spend time together. And Ryan started less afraid of him. And she get to know that he is really a good person. After 8 months, now today is their first marriage anniversary day. And Jungkook is still not home and Ryan is getting ready after preparing everything. She gave last one touch to her makeup and went to living room. And soon heard the door open and close and he came inside with beautiful smile. They arrived at the place and Ryan was shocked seeing the arrangements in front of her. Wow, Jungkook is so beautiful. After some time they cut the cake and feed each other and Jungkook gave her gift which was a beautiful necklace and Ryan also gave him his gift which was a beautiful watch. He called her softly and she hummed in response. Jungkook became really happy after hearing her saying it back and said,